still feeling those things. But here's one thing I want you to think about. Um, and that is, in our heart, we obviously have all these different feelings, sadness, glad, joy, happy, mad, rage, just, content, just all these different feelings that we have. But I think sometimes what we do is, even to ourselves and other people, we want to think that we can anesthetize the negative or the feelings we don't want to have. And if I anesthetize them, even without an addiction, without necessarily using something to mask it like that, but just within my own self, I try to form my thinking and my thoughts around a way that helps me avoid having to feel the feelings I don't want to feel, as if I really do and can anesthetize those feelings. But see, the problem is we can't. They'll eventually erupt. They will show up. They will come out. That's why a lot of times, even in a simple, little way as a tool with a parent, a lot of times when you find yourself screaming or yelling at your child, it's because you've already let so much build up in your heart ahead of time that by the time the whatever thing happens, that happens to be the thing that your heart just can't stay numb anymore, and you just kind of come unglued, or say things that you regret later. And that's what we just do in all of our relationships. And so even if we think we're being really good at masking those feelings, people will hear it in your tone, like the authenticity or not will come through. And so that's another reason why I like the whole idea of thinking of being childlike, because when you talk to children, they're in situations, families where it's safe for them to have their feelings when they're little, and you ask them what they're feeling, they'll just tell you, I'm mad today, I don't feel good, I'm unhappy, or I'm so happy, I'm so glad for this, I'm so glad for that, so and so is my best friend, I love my teacher, those kinds of things. And they're genuine, those are their real feelings, so they let you know all that they're feeling. And so what I'm suggesting is that we go to meditation, to prayer, to have those real feelings. Because guess what? God already knows you're feeling them. We're not going to be surprising anybody. And he says, come to me as a little child. I want to know. I want to know. And it's us that sometimes doesn't want to know. And I understand. I don't blame you. There's a lot going on. There's always a lot going on. But I mean, especially now with everything in the world. And so a lot of times we don't want to have to feel those feelings. And I get it. But see, the thing is, we're just postponing it. It's like it will catch up with us. We won't be able to get away with it, in a good way. Because the whole point is, in the meditation and prayer, when I come with my genuine feelings, it creates a dependency in me, like children have on their parents. I become dependent in a good way, so that then, just like when a child leaves their parent, they can go off into the world and do their thing and feel confident because they've internalized the love of their parents. And so through meditation and prayer, we can internalize that love. And you don't have to pretend there. You can be genuine. But that's the thing. You have to want to be able to feel it too. You have to be open and be childlike. And that's being teachable. And then when you are like that and you go out into the world and you are able to talk to people and have interactions with people, and it is genuine, that's what will be contagious, not the pretending. The pretending is just going to take us further down the road, into it snowballing, and it becomes maybe even bigger than we ever even thought it would become. But, I just want you to consider thinking of meditation and prayer that way, of just going for the purpose of, okay, I'm going to get my thoughts organized. It's as if your child's coming to you as a parent and saying, I don't know how to think about this. So-and-so doesn't like me, and da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, okay, what do you say to them? You try to give them a way to think. You try to help them have a way through it. Well, that's what I want you to get in meditation and prayer. I want you to have a time where you feel like you have a place where you can get your thoughts organized and put in a way that is not overwhelming to you, because you're sensing that you're loved, you're cared for, you're protected, but you're being real, you're being genuine. And so I just want to suggest this week that maybe you try, when you're feeling something and you feel something coming up inside of you that you normally would push down, when you have the time and you have the place, that you can stop and just be still. A lot of times we hear things from people that love us that we never even knew we were going to hear from them. And we're like, wow, that insight, that aha really helped me so much. I don't know what I would do if I hadn't heard that. Well, I think I miss those by not spending more time in meditation. I think I miss those, that intimacy in prayer, by not spending more time there. And I think that once our thoughts are organized, then obviously we see ourselves real, we see our value, our worth, we see everything that's really true about us. And that's the exciting part. And then you're able to go out and love other people with a love that you really are feeling, not like you're having to conjure up. And there might still be times intermittently or whatever that we still have to do that and that kind of thing, because you're not always going to be on top of things. I understand that. But meanwhile, just try it and see what happens. Just see it as going and getting your mind put in order so that you're staying on top of things and that you're seeing things for how they really are, not for what your mind's telling you, because your thoughts and your minds will take you to the anxiety, the fear, the frustration, and all the other things. And then when you get overwhelmed, you're going to want to push those feelings back down again until they come up in a way that you regret, and then you maintain that cycle. So that's what we're trying to break, that pattern. So give it a try. See what happens. Spend some time just going and just focusing on being loved. And just say, hey, if any of my mind, my thoughts are, not right, let me just be still. Let me just think. Let me just see if there's anything you have to say to me. And then you go on with your day. And the good news is you can do that anytime you want throughout the day. I mean, anytime you have the time, it's accessible and it's always there for us. So like a little child, take advantage of it. Go, get love, get filled up, and get things so that you're able to feel authentic joy and not having to mask your feelings and not trying to find a way to numb them, And if you need to talk to somebody, talk to somebody. But other than that, I think you're gonna be fine. It's believe it or not, it's easier to go and have your authentic feelings than to try to continue pushing your feelings down. I've heard it explained, maybe you have too, about from people saying, it's like trying to keep a beach ball pushed down underneath the water in the pool. It takes more energy to keep that beach ball pushed down under the water than just let it pop up. Just let it come up. All right? Love you guys. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you next Friday. Bye-bye.